Woo! I just finished up an absolutely savage interval session, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the moment you pause your watch after a run. How many of us are making common mistakes that could be avoided that are going to massively help us going into the next run that we do? Starting off with, let me know in the comments right now, when was the last time you did a thorough cool down? All it has to be is 2 to 3 minutes of light jogging after your run. If you can fit it in, try to do 5 to 10. And this is going to make a massive difference going into your next run. It's going to help bring your heart rate down slowly. It's also going to help your muscles going into your next run because it's helping to get rid of the lactic that will have built up, especially if you're doing a fast session on the track like I just did. So if you can manage to do that, that would be awesome. Also, try and do some stretching as well. This is also going to help your muscles. If you have no idea where to start when it comes to stretching, then check out the running channel video. You need to do this after every run. Trust me, those stretches are awesome and they're really going to help you out. So that's cool down and stretching. But then the next thing, the big mistake that lots of people make is they then just stay in their clothes for ages. I know I've done it. I've done a park run and then I've stayed in my clothes far too long. But if you cool down and you're still in your damp kit, it's going to take far longer to warm up. Plus the bacteria that will be in your clothes isn't great for you either. So I'm going to head back to my hotel room, have a shower and get in clean clothes. Let's go. Right, I'm out of my sweaty clothes and the next thing you need to make sure you're doing is rehydrating. So many people are tempted to reach for a beer or a cup of tea after they run, but you need to make sure that you are replacing all of the stuff that you've lost through sweating. So making sure you're getting some water or an isotonic drink and adding some electrolytes if you want to as well. This is going to help reduce inflammation, it's going to aid your recovery, as well as also going to help with your concentration for the rest of the day. Plus, if you're dehydrated, this is going to affect your daily bodily functions as well. So make sure that you're getting something in straight after your run. And whilst we're on the subject of hydration, let's also talk about refueling as well. You need to replenish the glycogen stores that will be depleted after your run. Some people do struggle to eat after they've run, so if that's something that you struggle with, we'd recommend good old chocolate milk or a protein shake. That's going to help you too. And now I can go and sit down and get on with some work. So you've done your cool down, you've had a shower, you've eaten something, you've had something to drink. This might be the point at which you sit down at your desk and start the day, or you might just be sitting down on the sofa, but try not to do this for a long period of time without moving. In fact, prolonged periods of sitting have been shown to reduce blood flow, and ultimately this is going to slow down your recovery. So try to keep moving. I actually found this to be the case with the last marathon that I did. My first one in Amsterdam, I stopped the race, sat down for quite a long period of time, then even flew home the next day. So I felt the recovery was much slower. Whereas a year later in Berlin, I finished the race, walked back to the hotel, went to the after party in the evening, and then the next day even did a walking tour around Berlin. And I actually found the recovery was much better. So don't do too much, you don't need to go out for another run, but try to get up, make yourself a cup of tea, keep moving because it's massively going to help you. So on that note, let's head outside for the next tip. Now, this next one is a big one. Make sure that if something feels a little bit off after the run, if you've picked up a niggle or something feels a little bit too tight, that you act on it in the moment. Ring the physio if you need to, speak to a medical professional, or if you've already been and you've got some exercises to do, make sure that you're doing them. You will thank yourself later for it. Plus, you don't want a small problem to turn into a bigger problem later down the line. And this brings me on to my last point, which is celebrate the fact that you've gone out for a run. Running's never linear. It's going to go up and down. There are going to be some great runs and some really hard runs, but you got out there, you did it, and you got out for a run. So celebrate the fact that you've done that. And also, let me know in the comments right now, how was your last run? Tell me about it and we will come and give you some love in the comments. And whilst you're here, mistakes after running aren't the only problem. Why don't you watch this video, which might be telling you that you're doing all your runs a little bit too fast, and slower is the key to getting faster overall.